Hi folks, in this video I'm going to show you how to play Little Shady from the Rockschool Grade 3 guitar book. So I'd recommend you go and have a listen to the tune first so you get a feel for what it's supposed to sound like. So here we go, let's get started. So we're going to start off with some palm muting. Okay, now if you're unsure what this is, it's basically where you're using the fleshy bit of your hand here on the side and you're resting it where the strings meet the bridge of the guitar, so right on the edge here. So here's what the open E string on the bottom would sound like if you weren't muting it. And then if you mute it, you should get this kind of sound. So you can hear the pitch of the note still. It doesn't sound like this. It's not completely cut off, but it doesn't sound as clear as having it open. Okay, so you want to have a practice at that first, see if you can get that kind of tone. You can draw it across different strings like that. Okay, so when you're playing this in the track, we're starting off on the 8th fret of the E string, and then we go down to fret 5 like that. So again, you're just trying to cover the string as it meets the bridge there like that to get that muted sound. Okay, so I'd probably recommend using my pinky and first finger to play this first part. And then the next part is, so that's the B string 5th fret, 8th fret on the E, and then 5th fret on the E as well. Okay. So the timing for each one of these phrases is there's an 8th note rest at the start. So if you count it in, it'll sound like this. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, rest, 2, rest, 3, 4, rest, 3, 4, rest. Okay, so you're basically repeating those two phrases, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 3 times through at the start, and then there's a 4th time, but it's got a slightly different ending. Okay, so on the 4th time it's going to be rest, 3, 4. Okay, and that last part is just 8th fret on the B and 5th fret on the E. Okay, so I'll just go play that first two lines through for you. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, rest, 2, rest, 3, 4, rest, and rest, 3, 4, rest, 3, 4, rest, last time, and rest, 3, 4. Okay, and the very last part there, so it's going to come in 3, 4, and straight in after the 4 like that. 3, 4, and you'll notice there's a slide on the 5th fret. If you look at the tab, there's a slide on there. So that slide is one of these slides that slide off to nothing. Okay, so we're not sliding off, say, to fret 3 or any other fret. When we slide off this note, it kind of disappears and you can't hear what note it slides to. So the way we do that is we play the note, let it sustain a little bit first, and then as we move down, you're taking the pressure off the string so that the string moves away from the fretboard of the guitar a little bit. And that means by the time you get to about here, if you just gradually lift it off, the note just kind of disappears or it dies out. Okay, so it'll take a bit of practice to get the hang of that, but what you don't want to hear is another note after that 5th fret. Okay, we want to just kind of slide off to nothing. So as I say, it'll take a bit of practice to get that. Okay, on to the next section. So I'll just play it through for you. It sounds like this. So it's So to kick things off, we've got two slides. up to the 5th fret on the B string. Now to make things easier, I would just say slide from fret 4. And again, with these kind of slides, you'll notice that there isn't a note before the fret 5 on the music. It just goes slide to fret 5, but it doesn't tell you where from. Now that's because it doesn't matter too much where you slide from. You could slide from fret 3 or fret 4. You could even go all the way from fret 1. All that changes with that is you can hear that the slide is a bit bigger sounding, it's a little longer sounding. Okay, but it doesn't really sort of change the pitch at all. So for this, I'd recommend keeping it really simple, just doing a slide just from fret 4. It's just easier that way. Okay, so again though, you don't want to hear fret 4. So pop your finger on fret 4, and as soon as you pick, slide it straight to fret 5. Okay, it'll take a bit of practice. So you do that twice through. And then we're going down the A minor pentatonic scale for these notes. So that would be 7th fret on the G string, 5th fret on the G string, and then 7th fret on the D. So I'd probably use my 3rd, 1st and 3rd fingers for that again. So you're kind of just walking. Okay. The next part sounds like this. A couple of ways you could play this. So it's 5, 7 on the D, and then you can cross over to 7 on the G either with the same finger by rolling your finger, flattening it out like this, like that. Or you could use another finger, so you could play like that, so you're crossing over the strings there with 2 fingers. So you can experiment with which one you like the feel of. What I'd recommend you don't do is hop. So try not to go like and then lift your finger up to cross the string like that. Because when you get this up to speed, that little hop is going to make it sound a little stuttery. Okay. So I'd recommend using another finger or rolling. Okay, so that was 5, 7, 7, 5 on the G. And then it's back to 7, 5 on the D. Okay, next part starts off the same way. And then we've got 7, 5 on the G, 7, 5 on the D. So. Okay, and then the next bar, if you look on the music, you'll see some smaller written notes on there. Now that's actually something for later on in the song. We're going to come back to that little part. So let's go to the next line, and you can see it starts off the same way. We've got so the only thing that changes is the last note. So instead of going 7, 5 on the D string, it's 7 on the D to 7 on the G. And again, try not to hop. Try use another finger like this, or roll your finger to cross over like that. Okay, so that will be. Okay, then we've got a whole bar rest, and then that leads us to the next line. So this bit, I'll play it through for you. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So to kick off, we've got some more palm mutes where we're resting our hand down here again. So the first phrase is 5, 8, 5, 5 on the B string. And then we're back to this pentatonic thing. Here it goes. G7, G5, G7, G5 again, and then 7 on the D. So okay, and just pay attention to what fingers that I'm using to play this, because if you use your third finger and first finger, it's basically just kind of walking when you're playing these melodies. Okay, so that would be repeating the first part, and then it's so that's 7 on the G, 5 on the G, and then we're going to the 5th fret on the B, with some vibrato on there if you look on the music. Okay, and then we're on to the bottom line, so it's back to the muting, and then this next bar, you'll see it's exactly the same as the bar above it. Instead of just playing it, we're going to slide into it. So again, you could slide from fret 6 or fret 5, because there's no indication on the music. You can choose where you want to slide from. And then the last 2 bars of this page sound like this. So we're just walking again, starting on D5. So D5, D7, G5, G7, and then just the 5th fret on the B string. Okay, and you'll notice on the music that there's a crescendo written above that, so that just means it's going to start off quiet and get louder towards the end. Okay, so something like this. So you can be really dramatic with that by just picking really softly at the start. Okay, and that concludes page 1. So on to page 2. I'll pull it up on here. Okay, so page 2 starts off with this funky rhythm on the bottom 2 strings. So the way we play this is by barring the bottom 3 strings on the 5th fret, so you should get this sound. And you'll notice that there are some ghost notes in this rhythm as well, so that's the ones that are indicated by the X's in the tab. Now a ghost note is where you lift the string away from the fretboard, but your finger still stays on the string, okay, if that makes sense. So I'll try and give you a little close-up. So here's me pressing down on the string, and then just lifting it away like that. Like that. So your finger is still on the string, it's just that you're lifting it away. Now what that does is it mutes it. So here's me pressing down, and then just lifting the pressure off. You get a muted sound like that. That's called a ghost note. Used a lot in kind of funk music. Okay, so the rhythm for this part. So if you do, let's see. So if you do down, up on the first 2 strums, okay, and they're both pressed down, then you've got a down strum where it's muted. Okay, so that's going to be like this. So maybe just practice that. And then it's another down strum where it's not muted, so press back down again. Okay, so I'll just piece that together. That'll be down, up, mute, and then another down when it's unmuted. Okay, so that's going to take a little bit of practice because you're having to use both hands here. Okay, so I just recommend just playing that over and over till you get used to it. Go really slow to begin with. Then the next part is down, down, up, down. Okay, so down, down, up, down. Okay, so I'm just going to play that part all together. So that was... Okay, with the rhythm, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, once you've cracked that, then the second part is the same thing, it's just missing a couple of notes off the end. It just goes like this. So just 2 down strums on the end. Okay, up to speed, that's going to sound like this. Okay, and again, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so after that, we've got the guitar solo. So I'm probably going to pop up another video for that, because that's that'll take a bit of explaining. After the guitar solo, you'll see we've got the CODA sign that tells you to go back to the symbol marked on the first page. So if you have a look on the first page, on the 3rd line, just above where it says A minor there's the CODA symbol. So that's telling you to go back and start playing this part again. So we're back to playing this. Now this time we do stick that in. So that's just when you go back and repeat it like this. So there's a 2 beat rest, 1, 2, and then if you just play down, up, down on that chord. Okay, then we're on to the next line. Okay, so that concludes that. And then you've got the 2 CODA. So that takes you back to the 2nd page, and then we've got this ending. So let's do a walk through this. Find it again. Okay, so the CODA looks like this. We've got, well, the best thing to do first is map out the notes, okay? Because so we're starting off on fret 8 on the B string and fret 9 on the G. So if you just play those 2 notes first, and again with this part, there's some slides at the start, and probably what I'd recommend doing is don't worry about the slides to begin with. Just get the notes under your fingers, get the fret positions memorized first, and then you can bring in the slides afterwards, okay? So we've got fret 8 on the B string, fret 9 on the G, and then we're moving down, so it'll be twice on there. Move down to fret 7 on B and G. You can use 1 finger for this. Same thing on fret 5. And then we're back to that first shape that we played again, but it's on fret 3 and 4. Okay, so you're going to have something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so just have a practice at that nice and slow, just trying to memorize those shapes. Okay. The next line, similar kind of idea. It goes 7th fret on the E and 8th fret on the B. And then we're moving down, it'll be fret 5, fret 7. Again, same shape, moving it down to frets 3 and 4, 3 and 5 even. And then it's down to frets 2 and 3. Okay, so again, try and get those in your memory first. Okay, so I recommend just running over this section just like this. Just playing these positions like this. Okay, and once you've memorized it and you can play it through just like that one by one, then you can bring the rhythm in. Okay, so we're sliding in to the first strum of each note. Okay, so we're going to have Okay, and just to make it easier on myself, the slides, I'm just going from the fret below again, not sliding too far, just a little bit, just 1 fret. Okay, and there's quite a bit going on in this section actually. If you have a look, there's another crescendo, so you're getting louder, starting quiet and getting louder through that part as well. So I'll play it again with the crescendo, so you're gonna have. Quiet, getting louder. Okay, and then we're on to the last line now, and this is just back to the same melody that we've played before. Okay, and that last part, you see there's some accents on there. That just means you're going to have to pluck these first 3 notes really hard, really dig in. And then the last note has got an accent above it like this. That just means you can come to a nice strong stop on that part. Okay, and that's that. That wraps up a little Shady.